Good evening, everyone. It is Mitchell, aka The Walking Orlando. Welcome back to Universal, and welcome back to another Halloween Horror Nights trip. This trip, we are going to be showing you guys what Stay and Scream is like, how beneficial it is, and why you should be using it as well, because we learned last year Stay and Scream completely saves your butt, gets you through so many houses so quickly, and it's so nice to use. So, we're going to head on in to do Stay and Scream, and another trip out to Halloween Horror Nights. Got one more house we want to do. We technically have 3 houses to do, but we do not want to do The Exorcist, and we don't want to do the Chucky house, because I've heard nothing but bad things about the Chucky house. So, but into Universal we go. So if we are entering the park right now, they will have one of the sides open, but if you're staying just for Horror Nights, you go off to the left. So like for us, because we have our pass, we're gonna head off to the right to go on in. And then I'll show you, well, hopefully I'll give you a map to show you where all of the Stay and Scream locations are. We'll talk a little more about Stay and Scream as well. So we go, if you're staying for Stay and Scream, there are 4 locations. There is right here next to the Today Cafe. You have the New York section. Then you also have Central Park. So there's only 3. So there's Lou's over by Louis Italian Restaurant, Central Park, and Richter's Burger Company. So San Francisco, New York, and pretty sure another one is here at the front. So 4. So I will tell you the most popular Stay and Scream location is going to be the New York section. That one tends to fill up the fastest because that is right next to Stranger Things, Yeti Campground, and Dueling Dragons. I think also The Exorcist. So I think that one gives you the most bang for your buck, but you have to be in they open those locations starting at 3 p.m. So if you do the Central Park one, this actually only has 2 of the houses. It has The Last of Us and Universal Monsters Unmasked. If you go to Richter's, I think that does the Darkest Deal and Dr. Oddfellows. But definitely The Last of Us definitely has the longer of the line. So the way Stay and Scream works is that you can buy just a ticket for Stay and Scream to come in, but the easiest thing is to really have a day ticket, or if you have a pass, to come in, because they open these Stay and Scream starting at 3 until 5 when the park does officially close. So right now we're actually going to go back out because we want to fill up our water bottle, because there's literally a station right here because it's very humid. We want to make sure we're not going to dehydrate. So even better, they have a food and beverage area where you can actually go down and go get food and drinks and stuff. So like for us, we want to go fill up our water bottles, and we can actually don't have to leave the Stay and Scream area, because once the Stay and Scream area does become full, you cannot come back into it. It's like first come, first serve. So we're going to go over and fill up our water bottles, because we're not that worried about how long the line gets, honestly. So, but we'll see how it is. But I still think Stay and Scream is probably the best thing you can do if you're trying to get through any the major houses like Stranger Things, Last of Us, The Exorcist, stuff like that. Those are ones you're going to want Stay and Scream for. But one of the nice things they have is they actually have the Bumblebee Man's Taco Shop open. They have one of the carts for Horror Nights open down there. And they do have Lard Lad Donuts open. I'm pretty sure it looks like they also have the Duff Beer Bar area open as well. So if you're interested in what they have available for food-wise, and probably even the little quick service over here as well. So for this year, they have 5 different holding areas. So they have the Central Park area, which leads you to Last of Us and Unmasked Universal Monsters. They have the area over by San Francisco next to Richter's that leads you on to Dr. Oddfellows and the Darkest Deal. Then you have the Central, so you have New York Central area, where that leads you to Yeti, and I think they said Stranger Things. Then they have the Today Cafe area, which leads you into The Exorcist and Blood Moon. And then they have an area just for Universal guests staying at the resorts over by Soundstage 18. So that's kind of a nice perk. Like I said, I personally think it's a great idea because even though they do have the line, the line right now, yes, is long. Honestly, this is the best you're going to be able to get through. So we're actually decided, we changed our mind. We're going to go to Unmasked first to do that. Then go over and get a return time for The Exorcist if it's not a long wait. Probably jump over to Oddfellows and maybe Darkest Deal and do these 4 houses in the back. Because Unmasked is one of my top 3 right now. Because actually I want to show you guys, this is my list right now of what we've done. And like I said, we're only going to do 8 of the 10 houses this year because Not really interested in The Exorcist. Chucky, I've heard nothing but bad things. So I think we're going to try, I want to do Unmasked to see if it is better or if Stranger Things is still better. But I think this is a great thing to do. And if you're an annual pass holder or you have a day ticket, this costs you nothing extra outside of what you already have, outside of your Halloween Horror Night ticket. Well, it's even funny, the guy even said for us, because like we want to do Unmasked first, he said, oh, well, just sit back for a little bit, let them go, because they actually already moved some of the Unmasked into the actual line itself. And then once the park does close, and like they've moved people, I think once they've moved people out of the back area here, then they'll open up this for The Last of Us to go in, the rest of the Unmasked house to go in, and then they'll move the rest of the houses over. So I think this is a great way of getting through anywhere from 4 to maybe 5 houses if you come to these back 2 ones. So now that the park has closed and they have pushed all of the normal daytime guests across, they've actually blocked this off. And now for anyone going to Monsters, they can come across over here, but you can also come over here to where the Animal Actors Premium Bar is and Twisted Taters. And that right there is all the people waiting to go do Monsters. So we kind of get to come out over here and get something to eat. If you want something to drink, or if you want to get something to drink, you can actually get it over here. So the Last of Us line actually starts all the way near the end of, next to where the Duff Beer Bar is, and stretches all the way down, all the way past the Doc Brown train, up and around through Central Park. But looking at the app, and I mean right now it is 5:22, and the Stranger Things and Dueling Dragon is already open. So I thought they'd maybe open Last of Us now, because if they open it now, there's a chance we could be able to get in to Unmasked, be done, go over, get a return time for Last of Us before the park actually opens for guests, and then we could jump into Dr. Oddfellows and Darkest Deal. So this is intriguing. So I was just scrolling through the app. Like I said, you can see Stranger Things as a wait time, but there's like what time the others open. So like The Last of Us, which again is based on the PlayStation, is 5:45, but Chucky opens at 10 a.m. Something's not right there. Universal Unmasked, 5:45. Oddfellows at 6. Campground at 6. Darkest Deals at 6. So this could work out really well that we could easily do Unmasked and get a return time for Last of Us. By that time, Oddfellows and Darkest Deals should be open. By the time we get done with those, it'll probably be time for us to do Last of Us. And then do what? And then I do want to go over and look at the Death Eaters again. And I think we'll try to do Yeti as well, because Kayla really likes Yeti. That's actually her #1 house right now. So they kind of give you officially kind of the back of the park now to do once you go out of the Central Park one. But the queues do not open for like Dr. Oddfellows at 6. Darkest Deal doesn't open until 6. So like I said, we're just coming around to get a return time for The Last of Us. See if they'll give us one. Alright, so the way that it works is if you have the Disability Pass or Express Pass, really with the Disability Pass, because you get a return time based on the wait time, but because they're not posting a wait time, they'll actually just let us right through right now. If there was a wait time, they would have to give us a return time, but because there is no wait time, we should be able to go right through, which actually works out better for our plan than originally. Get all the way down to the Last of Us entrance. Okay, Last of Us was so scary. Like it was done really well. Like I don't know very much about that series as a whole, but that was a very well done house. The only downside with Stay and Scream is that because you kind of go in when it's still light out, your eyes take a while to adjust. But that was, I probably had maybe 4 or 5 really good scares in that house that I was not expecting. Especially at one point, there was 2 that came from each side of me and got me. So I think that one probably goes to #4 for me, which bumps Oddfellow down, which I'm kind of surprised by. But I think it's really good. I don't think I'll do it again, but man, there were a couple really good scares in that. Plus, it just looked like a really good house for what my eyes could see. Well, it works out perfect. Unmasked is right here. So on to Unmasked for our actually second time through. Okay, so this is the second run through of this house, and this was my #2 on my list. I want to see if it's better than Stranger Things, which I feel like it's going to be really hard for it to beat, but I really want to see if it does get there. So I'm going to do something. I'm going to change this from #2 to #1. So now this is my current list. That run through is probably way better than the first time we went through, especially considering we got the section where, like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, he has a cool thing with his section that we didn't get to see the first time, and it was so good. Plus the scares were fantastic. There was a lot that we missed last time. There's not even a lot we missed. I think there was as many scare actors. So that was good. I definitely think that for sure hits #1 for me. So the reason I would recommend if you're going to do Stay and Scream coming to the Central Park one is because of the fact that you do go right to Last of Us. And that has I think that's usually tied for the second highest wait time in the park. But then once you get done, as soon as you exit, you immediately go right into Monsters Unmasked. And then, like us, we're gonna go to the back, go do Oddfellow and Darkest Deal. Now the trick with that is do Oddfellow first, immediately walk out, because you walk out the exit. Right at the exit, you go right to Darkest Deal. So there's a good chance by 7 p.m. we'll be able to do 4 houses. So within an hour of, not even a full hour of the park being open, we'll get 4 houses out of the way. The original plan was to do Oddfellow and then the Darkest Deal, but Darkest Deal jumped to a 20-minute wait, so we're gonna do this first. And on to Dr. Oddfellow's Twisted Origin. Like I said, right now this is my #5. Darkest Deal is #6. May have to reevaluate after this, but Dr. Oddfellows. So this usually was a house in years past, but it looks like they've gotten rid of this. But this was also like, it was one of the smaller houses that they used. But the only downside of Dr. Oddfellows, though, you get to walk all the way from here, around behind Men in Black, and next to where Darkest Deal is. So, I mean, they have a line set up for it to be super long, but I don't imagine it being that long. Okay, that was an amazing run through of Dr. Oddfellows. And I always laugh because he was talking about in the opening ceremonies about us we cheered on the clown, but then he has his own circus, which I think is funny. But I do really like that one. I think what I'm gonna end up doing is I think I'm gonna move that one to #4 on my list. Leave Stranger Things, Unmasked, Yeti, Oddfellow. For what? Oddfellow? Oops, sorry about that. So Oddfellow, Last of Us, Darkest Deal, what was the other one we did? There was one that was Dueling Dragons as well. Dueling Dragons was the last on my list, so, but I'll pretty much leave my list here like normal, but that was an amazing run through of Dr. Oddfellows. Honestly, all of our run-throughs tonight of the houses have been damn near perfect, and it's been so good. Okay, so in my opinion, Stay and Scream is 100% worth it, especially spending a little extra money. Here's the reason. If you're only coming for a single night and you didn't buy express passes, I think this is a great thing to do because you can probably crank through at least one major house and a couple smaller houses. Because like for us, if we had known that going into Last of Us we could have gone in earlier, we could have been done with that maybe 10 minutes earlier. But we also didn't want to wait in that line the whole time because Kayla was able to get food, she was able to get some ice cream and everything else. But we were able to hit, I mean, it's 7:10 right now, and we've done Last of Us, we've done Unmasked, we've done Dr. Oddfellows, and we've done Darkest Deals. And pretty much if we could have stayed for the rest of the night, which we're not going to, I think you could get through not only just all 10 houses, but I think you can get through a couple of them a couple more times, plus do the Nightmare Fuel show, plus do all 5 scare zones and everything else. I think it is extremely worth it to do Stay and Scream. Yes, you do commit to standing in the sun for a little bit, but by the time the sun sets, cools off, plus just going to the Men in Black gift shop because the AC in here is glorious.
Visualize the power of the sun. Possess the ability to create new life.
Finally, my search is over. I feel the power of the glowing skull of souls surging through my veins and giving me what I so crave. Immortality!
It's kind of funny because this is where we saw the Megans the last time we came on Sunday, and people are kind of just hanging out right here waiting to see if maybe they come back out again. You usually tell because all the team members will start coming out with the light wands, and everything, and then all the Megans start walking out. So, but then the crowds build very quickly. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and call it a trip from this trip out to Halloween Horror Nights. Wasn't going to be a super long trip. We just wanted to show you guys what Stay and Scream looks like, and is it worth it? For me, it is, and I definitely think for you guys as well, especially if you're going to be only coming once. Stay and Scream would be 100% worth it. Try to make sure you do that, because they'll be able to give you in more houses, get you in earlier. You don't have to worry about the crowd out here. Yes, you do miss the ceremonies, but I think honestly, the pros and cons really waver in pros. But tonight we did really good. So far, this is what our house lineup is. This is what I think this is what my houses are. So if you guys have anything else, or you guys want to tell me what your favorite houses are, just let me know in the description and the comments down below. But if you guys did enjoy this and you want to see any more of our Halloween adventures, I have a whole playlist right here of all of our Halloween Horror Night trips so far this year. And with all that being said, as we do head on out from Halloween Horror Nights tonight, we'll see y'all next time.